All right, so I pulled some cards, and the message had became clear as day. And I feel that somebody needs to hear this. All right, so you can find emotional healing through the past. Remember the good times before an upheaval in your life began. So you still may be on guard due to your recent past. So be sure to make time to give and receive kindness. You know, you completed out a cycle that uprooted you physically and or mentally. Um, it was very necessary for your growth, for your evolution. So that's something for you to be grateful for. All right. So like now is time for you to rest. Things are still being put back together for proper um, alignment. Make sure you're not like overthinking about the past in a negative way or thinking of negative aspects um, regarding your past, whether if it was you know, like like physical past that hit you emotionally, or saying like messed with your head, or if it was a certain spiritual process and stuff. Um, so this is regarding like the spiritual aspects of things, because we go through these upheavals and stuff, right? The whole chaos, like the stress levels are high around those times. Um, so like after what the chaotic stage did, it's like your mind is fragile. So I want you to be mindful of what you feed into, whether if it's doubt, shame, anger, sorrow, or even content that no longer serves your timeline, basically. Um, you need a calm transition, and you need to know and understand your way out of the chaotic thought process, right? To organize it, just not just feeling your way out anymore. That's not what you're doing. Um, you may be currently experiencing death of the ego, and it still wants to take control. It still wants to just be heard, even after a million times, right? It keeps going on and on. It still wants to take control instead of just like falling back so you can have this rebirth and like be in harmony with yourself and with others. There is a squirrel that just jumped on my hood. That's cute. Um, it's kind of like the mental energy or the ego is, it's like just being relentless. It still wants to argue, it still wants to debate, especially on things that are irrelevant at this point. And it's like you want to seek the truth, and within seeking the facts, you're becoming combative uh, with yourself at this point. If you're still in that hermit mode, you're going back and forth with whatever happened in the past, or what your visions were, or just that unsettling feeling of the past. It almost feels like the filtering of all of the overloaded information that was given during the spiritual tests and initiations. It's like you're thinking about your thoughts, right? At this point, you're literally just thinking about your thoughts. So I guess the message is to get out of your head, Start getting into your heart space. And for the love of everything that is good, do not let your mind run you, because you're carrying burdens that are not yours to carry. You know, you may be feeling like pressure and obligations. So, like, it's time for you to start being in the moment. Um, this is also a time to look and go inwards to your heart space. Uh, make an evaluation of your emotional needs. I sense that during the chaos of the awakening, the cortisol levels had peaked beyond what you could even fathom. Um, and you're probably like losing sleep, running on survival. You know, you didn't feel safe. So take this time as well to reassess your situation. Like, are you bored? Are you emotionally open or closed off? Just like start journaling and stuff. Basically, you need your heart to start feeling again. Like I said, you know, if you were in that survival mode, it's like the last thing that was really of relevance was working with your heart space. Um, it's very important to think of the difference between being emotionally fulfilled or whether if it's habitual of where you're at now. Um, you don't want to be stuck in apathy, because that's how like opportunities are missed. Um, and I'll reiterate this again, just in a different context. You don't need advice from anywhere else but from within you. All that comes from within the heart. And at this point, like, that's where you need to be focusing on now. Kind of feels like you're trying to rebuild old structures that are no longer serving your higher purpose, or even was serving a purpose to begin with, right? Um, so you don't need to keep clinging to like old narratives. Be mindful of what you hear, see, watch. Don't be afraid of change. Don't hinder yourself. It's like the old ways of doing things, it wasn't working for you anyways. And it's kind of like your ego and your higher self is fighting right now. That's kind of like what I'm picking up. It's like the ego wants to stay relevant. It's no longer serving any purpose whatsoever. It just keeps hitting a brick wall. Keeps hitting the rewind button. It wants to literally fight over nothing. And that ego, it's going to pull you down to square one if it's not put in check. And that's how you can focus on that, is basically going into your heart space. It's not about the external challenges of others anymore. I think you may be still being overprotective of your own boundaries, even your heart. But if you take a look around, there's peace after the chaos. So don't be afraid to just chill out and relax. All right. It's like your ego still wants to have that power struggle instead of you seeking like just this harmonious vibe. And you may still be having like lingering resentments to the point you may not even like basically you may want to one up the situation, right? And this is all ego. Like your ego still wants to like one up, still wants to like keep hitting brick walls and just you know what I'm saying, until it busts through. It's not gonna friggin' bust through. It's just gonna keep hitting that brick wall and stuff. Like there's nothing new that your ego has to offer you at this point. um, you have to learn to disengage with it. Not let it run the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you think about it, is it really worth the cost of your well-being, your livelihood? Um, so yeah, just learn to drop the ego, which is all in the mind, and the resentments as well. So you can learn to feel secure in everything that you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, think long term. It's like you're worthy of financial, material success. You're worthy of friggin' support. You're worthy of love. You know, just just got to be in that space to adapt to basically like change for positive outcomes, and try your best to stay focused, right? Like it's not a straight shot where it's just like, oh, you know what I'm saying, it takes work. um, and most of all, don't worry about what's out of your control. um, don't resist it. This kind of goes back to the whole thing with the chaos. You were resisting. Yeah, you overprotected, putting up your boundaries and stuff, like just going crazy with it. So just, I think this is the time where you just have to go with like life's changes. Mm. Yeah. So that is the message that I have today. I hope it helps, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace.